Hello, good evening, ma.
Good evening. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm very
How
fine.
are you? Okay.
I'm fine, ma. Thank you.
How was your day? Well done.
Very well. Very well. I used to. Good evening, Bolaji.
Can you hear me, ma? Hello,
Yeah,
ma.
good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Bolaji. I can hear you. Good evening.
How was your day, ma?
Very well, very well. Very
Yeah,
well.
good to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, ma.
Thank you. I see Bolaji. See I Madam Joy Ozua. Good evening, Bola.
How are you, ma?
Thank you. Good. Okay, John, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I see Ian Oyebola Adeyemi Christopher Yogi. Good evening, oh.
Good evening, my chairman.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma. Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Okay. Good evening as well. Ayo, I can't see you. Then Ifeanyi Nduagoba. There's Bukola as well.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Ayo.
Yes, actually I'm driving, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening. Bade Joko.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well done. Good evening, Moji. I can see you. Mr. Lester, good evening. Where's your glasses?
Good evening.
Good evening. Where's your glasses? Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay.
John, good evening.
Good evening.
Alistair, good evening.
John, good evening.
Thank you, Alistair. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. Okay. Fine. Okay, Mr. John, confirm. Do we have the presenter in the house?
Yes, yes. She's already waiting.
Okay.
I think we can start so that we don't keep us waiting too long.
We have just 39. Let's get to 45.
No problem. We'll call the meeting to order now. So good evening, everyone. Okay. 45? That's 6 more. Okay, 5 more people. So once it's 6:10, we'll start. Mojisola Modivo.
When I break my jar, fear me. When I break my jar, don't say I'm not. They find my problem. I mean, nothing can me concern that like that. I love you.
Good evening, Asif. Kola Wale. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, Madam Chairman, how are you today?
Good evening, sir. Welcome on board.
Thank you. Good evening, all.
Good evening. Temi Tope, welcome on board as well.
Thank you very much, my chairman.
Oga Temi Tope, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm not far away.
I'm still loyal.
I'm with you fully. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, we've hit 45, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I believe that it's been quite a challenging week, but for showing up at this meeting, it means we are ready to succeed. We've been able to overcome all obstacles and ready to forge ahead and face whatever it takes. COVID is still around, and I'm sure we are still observing all the protocols. That's like a safety remark. And just in going forward, let's pull up the agenda, please, so that we'll follow that sequence. The secretary, please. The agenda for the meeting.
Okay. Secretariat, can you please project the agenda?
All right, thank you. So can you change it to a slideshow so that it will be more visible? Thank you. So just protocols, kindly mute your system if you're not speaking, so that we can control the noise a bit. Thank you. So we have the agenda projected before us, the opening prayer, apologies, technical session. We'll be having a guest speaker, Mrs. Ian Sami Orumbe, the managing partner of Veti Professional Managers. Madam, good evening. I've seen that. I've read to you on. Reading and adoption of the minutes of members' general meeting, and then matters arising from the minutes. Updates on annual accountants conference, updates on ICANN LDS building, any other business reporting the Western Zonal Conference. The General Secretary will do that. We'll recognize the birthday celebrants, and just to add to it, we'll be introducing the ICANN Bonny Kingdom executives to the House. That's our new baby. Okay. Do we have any addition or any thing we have to say about the agenda? If we have, we've mentioned. Otherwise, we'll move to adopt the agenda. Is the agenda okay as is so that we can progress? Olusoji, is it okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So your membership number, please.
6496. MB 006496.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Any seconder? Nicholas. Nicholas or Kafilat, anyone? What's your thoughts? Are you seconding the motion that we move on with the meeting?
I second the motion to move on with the meeting. My name is Temitope Yomi Adeyemi.
All right, thank you very much. Your membership number, please.
14002.
Okay, thank you so much. So in riding with the agenda, opening prayer, please can someone pray for us? See Madam Buki. Madam Buki, please, can you lead us in the opening prayer?
Good evening, Madam Chair, and everybody in the house. Trust we are all doing good. Our Father and our God, we just want to thank you for the privilege of life. Thank you for another opportunity to gather on matters that have concern to all of us as a district. Holy Spirit, we ask that please take over, lead us and guide every one of us to the end that your name will be glorified at the end of this meeting. For in Jesus' name we do pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, I've done a bit of the opening. Within the opening, basically, we try to recognize the safety precautions that we need to take within this session. The COVID is still very much around, even though the vaccine has just come into the country. I can see from the news there are a bit of uncertainties, but that is normal with every vaccine reaction. So please, the step up on the safety is you have to know yourself before you even go for the vaccine. It's quite normal, but try and be forward with whatever reaction you have so that the doctors can manage your case very well. It's for our own good. Recall, we still need to have all the social distancing, face mask, and all of that. The challenge is still there with us, so let's be mindful. And we will all overcome. It has come, but we will overcome, and we will all come out victorious. So just in that mood, that's the safety word I have for everyone. The secretary, please. Any apologies for today's meeting? From
Thank
your
you
desk,
very much, Madam.
Mr.
Thank you very
Lester.
much, Madam Chairman. As at the time of going to the press with this meeting, there was no apology received from anybody at the secretariat, none to my notice. However, if any member has any apologies with respect to anybody, he is free to declare such apologies now. There was no apologies. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman.
All right, thank you. Any apologies from the House, please? Okay, in the absence of any apologies, we'll move on with the next item on the agenda, which is this technical session. Start your tomorrow today. Life after paid employment and entrepreneurship, retirement planning workshop. Our guest speaker today, very beautiful one. This month is actually International Women's Day, and women have taken over the month. It's no more just a day, 8th of March. We're celebrating every day. So we're so delighted to have a woman in our midst as our guest speaker, Mrs. Iyan Sami Orumbe, Managing Partner at Verti Professional Managers. So she is a business administration graduate, an MBA in business management, and has over 34 years working experience. Her working life has taken her through different organizations like IBTC, now Stanbic IBTC Bank, where she enjoyed a banking career for 10 years. Crusader Sterling Pensions Limited, where she was pioneer head of marketing. She later worked within the Guarantee Trust Group as head of business development department of ASO Asset Management Limited, a subsidiary of GT Assurance PLC, now Axem Mansard PLC, managing high network clients. Iyan is currently the managing partner of Verti Professional Managers, a firm of 3 professional women, wow, offering management consulting, financial advisory services, audits, tax advisory, and accountancy, training and process and systems design and implementation. And the beautiful part, she's happily married to Sammy, and they have 3 wonderful children, millennials. She fondly calls her champions. So, madam, in the spirit of I choose to challenge, we welcome you to this session to deliver this technical session. The floor is yours now.
Thank you very much for having me. I'll just share my screen and we'll be on. Okay. Okay, yes, very interesting topic, and I think this applies to all of us. I feel pretty privileged to share this session with us. And it's about what is inevitable for all of us, which is retirement. So the idea is to start your tomorrow today and start envisioning when that time comes. Let me just kick off with a quote that says that preparation is key to well-being as you grow older. And so with some foresight, your older years can be healthy, wealthy, and happy. Nothing to fear. So my outline is I'm going to talk a bit about pre-retirement, how to prepare for those years, the different phases of retirement, key challenges and opportunities we have in retirement. We'll look at financial planning and decisions, that's doing a budget check, types of investments in retirement, of course, the key issues of wellness and healthy living. And then we'll talk about relationship management and networking, and we'll conclude because I know I don't really have so much time. So question, how to prepare for retirement? Retirement is really the period of one's life after living one's lifelong job. And the planning is the process of preparing for life after post-work ends. And the preparation is both financially and emotionally. And it usually takes the following steps. 1, it's pretty important to take a pre-retirement planning break. What this does is that it affords you the opportunity to think about your life's dreams, your goals, and talk with your spouse, attend retirement seminars such as we are doing now, and activate your financial planning. Also then envisage the kind of retirement you want well in advance, the standard of living you desire, and setting dreams and goals that will give you a healthy retirement will definitely help to determine your retirement needs. It's important to develop a realistic picture of the financial resources you may require, because sometimes we think that without planning, we can just then go on with the standard of living that we've been used to. Usually it doesn't quite work like that, because statistics show that for most people, what they are getting in retirement is about, at best, 70% of what they were earning, while working. It's important to determine if your current income sources will be sufficient to support this plan that you have in place. So that if there's a gap, you need to think about how to accumulate additional assets or the income you need, or you adjust your vision to match your resources. And by that, I mean cutting your coat according to your cloth. Next, downsize your debt as much as possible. If you have a car loan, plan to pay it off as quickly as you can. If you have mortgage, do the same thing. And generally reduce discretionary expenses. Because if you examine your expenses, you'll be surprised at how much you can cut back more money to then invest for those years that you will not or might not be earning anything. And it comes in little details like if every day on your way home, for example, oh yeah, I used to just stopping by KFC, stopping by Mr. Biggs, just buying the little knickknacks for the children. And you get home, I mean, you spent about 1,000 naira, but guess what? They had breakfast, they had lunch, they had dinner. So why do you feel compelled to do this? Well, for some of us, I think we're just trying to bribe our children anyway, but you know what? They don't really need it. If you buy it, fine. If you don't buy it, fine. But think of what 1,000 over 20 working days in a month will give you. That's 20,000. And I'm sure sometimes if you ask each other, oh, I mean, do you even have any money to invest? Do you even have any money to save? I mean, how much am I even earning? How much do I have? I mean, I don't have anything. But listen, 20,000 over how many years with interest compounding would amount to a tiny, you know, a tidy sum. So don't underestimate those sort of little savings you can make. So reduce discretionary expenses as much as you can. And then, of course, create a savings plan that is different from your RSA. That's your retirement savings account, the one that's, you know, that your employer and yourself are paying into towards your retirement, which is, you know, with a pension fund administrator. It's important to learn basic investment principles that can help you make the most of your retirement money. That includes creating a regular savings program. Just have something that you are paying into every month, no matter how small. Just, you know, take on that discipline. Calculate your net worth. How much am I worth? I mean, when I, you know, put together all my assets, and I don't mean dead assets like maybe clothing, jewelry actually is more or less dead assets, unless you're talking about gold bars. You know, so you value yourself that way. What's your net worth? If you had to collapse all of this, how much can it fetch you? You know, usually your net worth is what you have in the bank, what you have with your investment portfolio. If you have any real estate, you know, things like that, they amount to, you know, your total net worth. And look at diversifying your investment portfolio to reduce your risk and increase your potential return. The dicey thing there is that we are coming into that age where we cannot be so, you know, how do I put it, aggressive with the type of asset classes of investment that we can invest in. When you are young, well, I mean, you can skew your portfolio towards stock market and all, because you have time to ride down the storm. That's the highs and the lows. But the older you get, what is important now is safety of your funds. And when you cannot take risks as well, it also then means that the return on investment won't be so high. However, you can be sure of your money when you want it. There are no stories. Yeah, so consider future medical costs based on your present health condition and then anticipated health management requirement. So God forbid that, you know, you are managing the high blood pressure, you are managing diabetes, whatever. Just have that at the back of your mind that this is going to, you know, cost you some money to maintain as your years, you know, proceed. Plan where you will live, because, you know, your type of house, the location where you live, your state and local government taxes and maintenance costs will impact greatly on your retirement budget. What a lot of people do, I mean, proceeding retirement, that's when they get to maybe sell off the huge palatial villas that they have built and then move into some smaller place. Perhaps what you need is just a service apartment, or not necessarily service apartment. It could be just an apartment that is in a safe and secure place and a location where people can access you, you can access other people. You just want to live, you know, a more moderate lifestyle. Because really at that time of your life, till your children have grown up, hopefully most of them have left home. So what are you keeping the palatial villa for? And by the way, for those of us who have built those big homes in our villages, what are we doing with them? In preparing psychologically, right, this life stage that we're in is usually accompanied by anxiety, sometimes depression, and debilitating feeling of loss of career, business. And so workers require psychological and emotional adjustments planning to enable them to familiarize with emotional challenges well in advance. You know, because if you don't have a plan for your retirement, that is when you start, you know, having high blood pressure, wondering what you're going to be doing, what is going to sustain you through retirement. So on the psychological side, now plan what you're going to do with your time. Because, you know, when you've been working long hours, you tend not to have had more time for hobbies, for interests, for socializing. And so now taking up a job or entrepreneurship, if you do have that opportunity, which comes by tapping into your passion or talents, this will, one, greatly improve your financial capability. It gives you life satisfaction because you are doing something that you love doing. And for some of us, usually it's that thing that you would have done even if nobody was paying you. But the nice thing now is that you're doing it and you're probably getting some financial reward, which is excellent. You know, and it also offers healthy balance, physical balance, and it lowers your risk of mental disorder because the issues of mental wellness are pretty, you know, important when we're in our later years. And of course, pursuit of happiness. Your social circle gets smaller when you live well because, you know, colleagues and all that are a bit, you know, removed from you now. What do you then do? You could join a club, you could take on an evening class, mentoring, take on some community service, you know, in your neighborhood, religious service as well. Because what this does is it expands your social ties, thereby increasing physical well-being and decreasing the risk of hypertension. And please avoid doing things that will be hard on your well-being. That hazardous temporary job, you know, that you want to take on, perhaps that's not such a good idea. If it's a very physical, you know, type of work at this stage, your health and your age probably can't handle it. And I know this is really a soppy topic for us in Africa, babysitting our grandchildren. And there's something I say, because I tell women that Omugwo is not a retirement plan. You know, because when you talk to women and when they're going into retirement, madam, what will you be doing? No, you know, my children now, I have to go and do Omugwo. Some of them will go to America. You know what? Let me just announce to you that first and foremost, the type of children we have now don't really want you around for so long. And Omugwo is not a plan. I mean, that is not what is going to keep you busy in retirement. And let me tell you, babysitting can be quite tasking sometimes. But, you know, in Africa, it's, you know, in parenthood here, it's actually a source of joy to a lot of people. So, but you do it in moderation, right? Of course, embrace technology. For this, I thank God for COVID, lockdown, and all that, and the pandemic, because now we've had no choice but to embrace technology for those of us that this hasn't really come easy to, because technology allows us to do a lot of things, even keeping in touch with family members, you know, which is really important to us at that time in our lives, keeping in touch with friends, you know, taking on your banking, or even your medical appointments. A lot of doctors now are doing consulting online. So how far can you go without technology? So embrace it if you've had a phobia for it. And you can form support groups as well and use your social and formal work connections to help create some sort of internship for people that may require, you know, to know the sort of things that you do. You know, there are so many areas you can explore, you know, with this. Okay, so retirement as a major life-changing event, it involves a process of emotional adjustment, and that requires thinking through your financial and your non-financial aspect of creating a happy retirement. This usually comes in 6 phases. The first one is what we've started doing now. This is the pre-retirement planning phase. You know, during the working years, retirement can appear to be, for some people, it's sort of an oncoming burden. And for some people, it's some distant paradise, because, you know, sometimes we have it in our heads, oh, that time that I'm going to be able to, I'll be so free to do whatever I want to do and all that. So this is a time when people begin to figure out the exact dates they're going to retire. They start participating in seminars and other activities that just, you know, help them understand that phase of life. So it is the time for both financial and psychological planning. And of course, the next phase is now that big day when you're shaking hands and hugging your colleagues for the last time. This is actually the shortest stage in the retirement process, because it's just that one day. So what, there's going to be a dinner or that party, they'll give you a plaque, a gold wristwatch, but you know what, that is the end, right? So you then enter the honeymoon phase. And this is the phase that for those of us that are dreamers, oh, we really look forward to, because when you talk to people and they say, from the day I retire, I mean, once I wake up the following day, man, I'm going to be sleeping, I'm going to be doing this and that. Some people say, oh, that boat cruise I've always wanted to go for. I want to visit these relations, do this. So it's really that time, you know, we just feel that sense of freedom, you know, that we can do whatever it is we want to do because we stopped working. So those hobbies we've always wanted to indulge in, go ahead, indulge in them. Maybe you also wanted to start a business. That is the time to start thinking about it, maybe the registrations and this and that. And then shortly after that comes the disenchantment phase. Because what happens is that after the glamour of the visits and the boat cruises and sleeping endlessly and all that, retirees must now settle down and deal with the feelings of non-relevance. And it is real. You know, where you just now feel totally separated from everybody. You don't feel relevant anymore. I remember a friend shared with me, we used to work together, you know, during my banking career. And she went on and stayed in the bank. And she told me how she couldn't explain how she felt the first day she went to a commercial place. I mean, she went to somebody's office. And normally if she arrived in her, you know, maybe her 4x4, you know, her SUV, bank, I mean, oh, you know, security men have that question they ask you. You say, okay, I'm here to see the MD, Mr. So-and-so. And the security man says, from where? I never took that question serious until after I retired. Because, you know, when you're working, it's easy to say, oh, I'm from PwC, oh, I'm from KPMG, oh, I'm from this, I'm from that. But then this silly security man that asks you this question, okay, yes, madam, from where? And then you're now thinking, okay, that's true, from where? I don't believe, there's no name I can drop that would open the gate for me the way it used to, because before you say the Stanbic IBTC, wow, the gate just starts opening. If you say KPMG, it opens. If you say PwC, you know. But now, what do you say, from my house? Oh, I mean, how do you even answer that question? So there's that feeling of non-relevance. There's that feeling of loneliness. Sometimes uselessness and disillusionment that may follow, you know. And if we are not careful, this can really, really grip us if we don't arrest it, because we then need to come to the reorientation phase, where we begin to now gradually familiarize ourselves with the landscape of our new circumstances and navigate our lives accordingly. And usually this is the most difficult stage in the emotional retirement process, and it takes both time and conscious effort to accomplish, because some people do not easily feel that sense of closure from their former working life. Because this is a place that you have spent so many years, and for many of us, the number of hours we spend at work with colleagues is more than what we spend with our family members. And so it's difficult to just find that closure. And then for some people, you find yourself, any little excuse, you are calling your former colleagues, you know, maybe your junior colleagues there, and so that we don't now, you know, start looking like we don't have a life, because you need to cut yourself loose from them. I recall somebody saying that it was so embarrassing that, you know, his former boss would call, okay, so how are you doing now? So you're not even missing me. And the guy said, I mean, it just was, okay, go and get a life. I mean, you've left, we're even envying you, and you're thinking that, but we can't help it. That is what happens sometimes, just not having that sense of closure, you know, and then we now move into the routine phase where finally a new daily schedule is created, new ground rules for time together with your spouse. And if I may warn, I mean, okay, is that even the right word? But let me just advise, let us really start forming that friendship with our spouses now, because you know what? You're going to be stuck with each other for a long time, you know, because the children have most likely left home. Even if they have not left home, they don't have time for you. And, you know, all those things Madam or guy used to, you know, encourage you to come and do together with them, and, you know, you didn't have time. You better start nurturing that relationship now, you know, because eventually then the new landscape becomes a familiar territory. And retirees can then enjoy this phase of their lives with a new sense of purpose and direction. But especially for a place like Nigeria, there are some general challenges, you know, that we face, you know, during retirement. A very important one is a high cost of living. And we see this, but somehow because, you know, there's the regular income coming, we have ways of cushioning it. But nothing goes up, no price goes up in Nigeria and never comes down. I mean, electricity tariff, diesel, petrol, kerosene, rent, what is it? And you're now coming into a time where you're probably earning less than you used to. So this is a major consideration. Low levels of income, low levels of savings, huge family size. You know, for many of us, we've taken on, you know, people that they're living with us. We are training this nephew, we are training that wife's niece, paying school fees, doing this and doing that. But question, can your retirement fund still support that sort of largesse, you know? Then we have the issue of polygamy. You know, I mean, I've come across, you know, people that are about to retire, and by the time we start talking, they actually share regrets about, oh, maybe that second wife they took on when they thought, oh, they were, you know, superstars, you know. But what do? You've taken on a second wife, you've taken on a third wife. You can't cut them loose just because you're retiring. Of course, extended family. People in Africa, Nigeria, people don't understand boundaries, you know. My uncle, I need money for junk, I need money for this, and you know, when you're working, you can still accommodate them. But when you're in retirement, the budget now to have to include this sort of demands is going to be a bit of a stretch. And of course, there's the issue of the inadequate and poor access to medical facilities. We also have a growing sophistication amongst our young adults, you know, because this then increases our domestic expenses. Some of us have sent children abroad to school, they've come back. What they are used to, I mean, for example, you and your wife, maybe the Wi-Fi you use, your internet is just your MTN data on your phone. Okay, and then your children then come home and they expect Wi-Fi 24/7. Were you planning for that? They expect the DSTV subscription to never, ever, you know, stop. They expect to use smartphones because, I mean, they look at you. I mean, what sort of phone is this, Dad? What sort of phone is this, Mom? They want smartphones. So those things are a big burden on your finances. And of course, many of them are unemployed. You know, the country as well has not been fair in that way. So there's a high percentage of unemployment. And these children still then have to be supported by you. You know, what we find is that for some of us in our 50s to 60s, thereabouts, in financial planning, we are called the sandwich generation. What that means is that we are plunked right in the middle where we are still supporting our adult children and we're also supporting our old parents. And you're right there. So there's that pool, you know. So what do? And you're going into retirement. And of course, you have, you know, all the environmental and health issues, which then increases your medical bills. But on the flip side now, there are opportunities. You know, when you come into retirement, you could, you know, go into entrepreneurship, start a new business. that thing you've always wanted to do that your job did not allow you time to do. This is the time to do it. Do you cook very well? Do you bake very well? Do you sew very well? Things you would normally do with great joy and you have natural flair for could then be what you start your entrepreneurship on. I mean, of course, it also offers a change of lifestyle, develop new interests as well. You know, things, I mean, the pandemic and COVID and lockdown has done quite some good stuff for us because, I mean, for many of us that are in entrepreneurship, and I'm in retirement right now, but I'm in entrepreneurship, which I find what it does for me is, I mean, my mental alertness has to be on point. I have to be very, very innovative. I have to be abreast with what is happening in the world. I gravitate a lot towards young people now. Why? Because I learn a lot from them. Because they own the world right now. We don't. So for us to be able to catch up with what is happening, so just make sure you have a lot of young people in your space, you know, so that you get to learn new things. You could also start volunteering, passing on your skills and learning to others, become a coach or a mentor. And for some of them, there's short certification courses you can do if you have that natural flair, right? Learn for fun, develop hobbies and interests. Is it gardening? Is it fitness program? Sometimes it could be part-time work that you take on, maybe working 2-3 days a week, you know, as a consultant to some organizations. So essentially achieving your unrealized dreams, those are the opportunities you have in retirement. I'm just going to share this screen with us. We won't go through them, but I just need you to understand what I want you to take out of it now. Because in planning for your finances, you need to do a budget check. What this does for you is to quickly help you understand whether you need to augment your income or you need to cut down on your expenses. Sometimes something has to give for the other. So what you do, just do a monthly budget check. List your income sources. For example, when you come into retirement, what will your RSA deliver monthly likely? And you can know this by talking to the benefits department of your PFA. Do you have personal savings accounts? How much do you have in the bank? If you have rent from property ownership, part-time employment, whatever it is that brings you income, if your children give you financial support monthly, just note it and calculate it, right? And then on the other side, what expenses do you have on a monthly basis? This is just an exercise to help you get on top of how you are likely to fare. If you are still repaying mortgages, which is why I had advised that if you can, just try to see if you can pay down your mortgage so that you are not bogged down with that in retirement. Are you living in rented accommodation? So how much rent goes for that monthly? Your daily living, telephone, damaged household equipment. Yes, things will always spoil in the house. You have to maintain them. What's your grocery bill like? When you go to what's it called? Is it Prince, Edichart, Ebano? How much are you spending? What's your utility bill? Electricity, your waste disposal, water bill, entertainment. And that's important because you can't discard it. From time to time, you and your spouse, you do have to go out for lunch, go to watch a movie, just do something that, brings both of you together, and you bond. So how much can you afford for that? And then you look at your feeding allowance, children's school fees, if you're still in that space of paying fees, extended family, how much goes to them? How much are you giving your church and your mosque? How much is your car gulping, How much are you spending on holidays, if anything? Insurance, community social responsibility, medical bills. Do you know what this does for you is that it just brings it close to your face what your reality is going to be. So the option you have is that if the expenses, there's nothing you can't even rule off. I mean, even extended family, because sometimes you are stuck in that situation and you cannot send your niece back to her mom or dad or whoever. So how much are your expenses? How much income do you have? So in a situation, and I do this all the time in retirement workshops, and I'm telling you, I've hardly come across anybody that was in a good place. Everybody just halfway through the expenses, they stop and they throw their arms up. Okay, what's the matter now? Madam, honestly, I don't know how I've been surviving. It can only be God. I said, okay, fine. Yes, true. Always good to ascribe it to God, but can we just be real? You know, so do this and know where you really stand. So the question is, if there's no expense you cannot cut short or cut off, is there any way you can augment your income? What more can you do to bring in additional income? So those are the sort of things that it does for you. And in terms of, you know, investments available, what we advise here is adopt a safe investment portfolio. You really cannot afford any shocks. You know, Nigerians will say, shock you. No, you can't afford that. You know, savings accounts, fixed deposits. And I know, when we finish, there are going to be questions that the interest rate is nothing. And honestly, the investment climate is really, really in the doghouse now in Nigeria. But what can we do? It's better than having the money under your pillow anyway. What I do, though, is that I try to save my money in foreign currency, in my domiciliary account in a Nigerian bank. At least it's better than leaving that money in Naira, right? So you can also buy annuities anyway with the insurance company, fixed income securities, that is government bonds, treasury bills. Interest rate is really, really bad now. But at this stage of your life, what we're saying that it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't have a long time horizon to ride out, you know, any losses. Because when we're young, usually what your investment portfolio should constitute, you have the fixed income securities, you have mutual funds, you have stocks. A lot of times when we are younger, you can really skew it more to stocks, because as the thing keeps going up and down, you have time on your hands to ride out the storms. But as you get older, you really don't have that time, you know, because you want to be able to liquidate and access your money anytime, you know, you want. And God forbid that it is when the stock price is down. So, but on this, I would advise that you see a financial advisor to discuss your investment goals. Let them know when you need this money to come through for you, how old you are, how much risk you can take, what are you really saving for, and all those things, so that they will then be able to, you know, package a portfolio for you that suits where you are in life. And that you can go to any of the asset management companies that are affiliated to banks. Of course, wellness and healthy living in retirement, very important. Nutrition is very important. Eat more fruits, fresh vegetables, calcium-rich food, low-calorie foods. And for those of us who say, oh, no, I must take swallow every day. Oga, madam, what your advice is just, you know, a tennis ball. And this is me that I've spoken to a nutritionist, so I'm not saying it just off the top of my head. A tennis ball, so if it's pounded yam, if it's amala, if it's tennis ball size, oh no, it won't be filling enough for me. Okay, you know what? Can you heap your bowl of vegetable soup and let that be what is going to then fill you? Because the age that you will be in retirement, your body does not need so much carbohydrate because you can't burn it off, right? You can't burn it off as when you were younger. So you're not growing anymore. Your metabolism rate is really, really lowered. So you can't burn it off. So what then happens is it converts to fat, which is not so good for our hearts. Of course, engage in physical activity as much as possible. If you have not joined a gym, perhaps this is the time to start, you know. And of course, hygiene, keep your body and environment clean. Enroll with an HMO, because if there's one thing you should take for granted in your retirement is good access to good health care. And lastly, I just want to talk about relationship management, because, you know, retirement challenges often affect couples, sometimes because both of you have been pursuing your careers and all that. So yes, there's a relationship, but you would be shocked to find that there are a lot of things about your spouse you've missed out on, you never really knew for sure. So you now need to adjust to retire life together with your spouse. And I remember a male colleague telling me how when he used to, those days, his wife would be in the kitchen and she would say, come and wash the place now while I'm cooking. And he said, for what? I mean, you're sitting and watching football. But that now that when his wife is in the kitchen, that anywhere she is, that's where he wants to be. So you go, can I help you wash it? She said, I've washed it. Can I help you do this? I've done it. And he's now feeling totally useless. And for the men in the house, I want to tell you that apparently it is true that in retirement, women fare better than men. And I'll tell you why. For a woman, because she's being used to multitasking, a woman can wake up at 5 a.m. and she can be busy till 6 p.m. in that house. But our men are not used to that. So because what do they do when they are home? They're watching football. So when there's no competition, no UEFA, no this, no that, okay, Arise TV, CNN, are you going to be in front of CNN the whole day? I mean, nobody even reads newspapers anymore, But you then be calling your wife, you come and sit down a bit. And I say, no, I still have to do this. I still have to do that. I said, because a woman is just made like that. And all these years, that is what you two have contributed to her doing, just being busy in the house, and you never really wanted to be part of it. Okay, so now that keeps her busy and you are left out. So this is the time to start, being nice to Madame and helping her wash place. Let her get used to you being around her. I know the women in the house will be smiling. It's also important to manage expectations that may be different at retirement. Yeah, like I said, household task sharing, managing extended family needs, and then you have community task involvement and new friends, that you now acquire through joining a club or charity organization. So those are new people that come into your space and new relationships you are then nurturing. So in concluding, do not underestimate your lifespan, because some people feel that, this retirement really, if I retire at 60, for example, maybe I just have 10 years, 20 years. 20 years, that's a very long time. Because also what you find is when you ask people, how many more years after retirement would you like to live? Or let me just ask, okay, what age would you ask God? If you were to ask God, okay, give me up to this. Somebody say, no, maybe 90. I said, okay, 90. And what, you are retiring at 60. So that means you have 30 years. So what's your plan? Is the 30 years just going to go like that? Or you are going to be doing a mobile if you're a woman? No, there has to be a plan for it. And advice, if you have some huge cash now, buy deferred annuity with an insurance company, because what then does, they start investing the money now, and when you come into retirement, you have guaranteed monthly income, till you die. Spend relatively low amounts now to have enough money in the future, and remember medical bills will most likely go up. Avoid large expenses, children's marriages, Nigerians, please. But we thank God for COVID. I think that has curbed our wings a bit. But some people are still in that space, and it's a mind thing, where you want to keep up with the Joneses. We don't need those large, weddings. We don't need to be buying any heavy cars right now. And let me also advise that whatever car you are buying for your retirement, you have better than salon, because you won't have the bones to climb an SUV or 4x4, right? And keep track of your retirement savings benefits and start now to develop your retirement budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I can hear the claps. Okay, thank you. So we'll take on the questions now, 2 or 3.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good day. This is Bumi Bade Joko.
Hello.
Membership number 19272. Well, thank you very much for this insightful presentation, and it's a value-adding one. And my question goes thus. Well, some of us are still very close to the retirement stage. And during the course of your presentation, you made mention of something on the honeymoon phase, that at that point, we should go out to do probably maybe registration of our businesses and what have you at that point. But my question is now that while you are still in active, I mean, probably maybe like a year to your retirement, can't you have such, you know, planning thing at that material point in time without, you know, conflicting with the policy of the, you know, the organization? Say, for instance, I'm working with a financial institution, and basically I leave home 6 o'clock and I don't come back until around, say like 8, 9 thereabouts. How do I plan in that circumstance? How do I get certain things done? Because, like, I mean, at the honeymoon phase, doing registration at that time is not, well, to me personally, I believe at that time one is down, one is facing reality of life and what have you. Why don't you start planning it maybe a year before the day? So that's my plan. That is my question.
Oh, no, I mean, I totally agree with you, because, you know, what we're trying to talk about was in a situation where you have not been able to activate anything. Of course, your best bet, if time and your current job allows you, of course, start now. I mean, because this is the time that you need to even start identifying what you want to do. Things like registering a business name or limited liability company, if that is what you want to do, there's nothing at all stopping you from doing that now. And I actually encourage that that is what you should do.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Adibola.
Thank you, my chairman.
Hello.
Thank you for our speaker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, chairman. Thank you, speaker. I am just to add to what you have said. You have given us so much. I will be 76 years old this year. And I want to give some examples of the things you said that we need to do. We need to give attention to exercise from now, whatever your age. Begin to give exercise a place in your life. Up till now, I take nothing less than 10,000 steps every day. And that gives you good health. You will be looking younger than your age if you start from now. As he told us, it is now that you have to start preparing for retirement. It's not when it remains 5 years before you start making that. Secondly, you need networking and relationship. You need it so much. Sometimes my wife will come and say, you are sitting down there and laughing. Who are you laughing with? I'm calling my colleagues who are 75, 74, 76 years old around the world. And we'll be talking, I'll be laughing. I'll be very happy. If you don't have that relationship, by the time you get to that age, many of the people around you, they are already dead. And those who are not dead, they are not strong enough to talk to you. So you need to build relationship now. And that's what he's telling us. Thirdly, you need to buy land. Land is very important. Buy virgin land. It may not be worth so much now, but when it lasts for about 20, 30 years or 10 years, the value will increase. And if you have money coming to your hand, be buying and building. When you have a big event to do, just take one of the landed properties or one of the houses and you sell it. The money will come around. You do what you want to do. The rest you enjoy with your spouse. Thank you, Ma, for what you have done for us tonight.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution.
Thank you, sir, for that contribution. Wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, do we have the third person?
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Funsho Ashekwiri. Madam, thank you so much for these highlights. It's really touching. Somehow it makes some of us, think it will grow old one day. All right. But the question I want to ask is that you made mention of something relating to PFA. I want to ask, how reliable is this PFA? Bearing in mind that one government can come one day and decided to do whatever they want to do with the PFA. So I haven't contributed so much, and the government comes and say, well, they have passed a law and you cannot have as much as you think you can have in this plan. I want to hear your view on that. Is it a workable one, or somebody should be looking at other areas? And you also mentioned something on an annuity plan with an insurance company.
Yeah.
If you look at insurance company, when it is time, they tend to bring one or two clauses that will not allow you to have as expected. I don't know what's your view on these two.
Okay, thanks, Michelle, for the questions. Okay, first and foremost, the Pension Reform Act of 2004 that was then revised in 2014 has made it such that your pension funds are not in the custody of anybody. They are under your name. It's like having a bank account. The money, the account has your name, a retirement savings account in the name of Ian Samuel Rumbe. Like I said, I'm a retiree myself, and I get my pension every month because that is the arrangement I went into with my PFA. The pension fund administrator who administers are not the ones keeping the money. The monies are kept with the PFCs, the pension fund custodians, which are essentially banks. So there is a segregation of duties such that you can be sure that your money is safe. And if you know when we say the heart of a law or edict or act, it was to ensure that what used to happen in the past does not happen anymore, which is why the Pension Reform Act of 2014 says that people should open retirement savings account. Your employer contributes a certain percentage, and a certain percentage from your salary is deducted and actually transferred. There's physical money moving into an account so that on retirement, you have the ability to access it. If you want to just take it from your PFA and buy annuity, fine, with an insurance company. If you want the PFA to continue to maintain it, fine, they'll be paying you every month. And if you want to, you can access 25% of whatever you've contributed upfront to do whatever it is you want to. That is what the law says. And this has been running for years already. So nothing has gone wrong. Like I said, the money is not up in the air. There's physical money that has moved into accounts so that wherever it is you go to, and that's what has been happening in employment. If I went and started working somewhere now, assuming I hadn't reached the retirement age, my RSA goes with me. So my current employer continues to contribute into that, same account. So the account is mine. So nothing wrong with that. On the fears on buying annuity, which is an option that you have when you go into retirement and you are wondering what to do with your funds, you can buy annuity. Even before you retire, you can actually buy what is called deferred annuity if you come into some lump sum money. So what you're saying is that you're pushing this money to them to manage for you until when you come into retirement so that they can then pay you monthly. And then perhaps your retirement funds you can go into that. The only downside for an annuity, even though what you get is higher than what you would get from your PFA if they're the ones still managing your funds, is that in the event of death, nobody gets whatever is left in your account if you buy annuity. However, if you left your money with your PFA to manage and they continue paying it, paying to you every month, in the event of death, then there's, your next of kin or beneficiary gets what is left. So the insurance industry is pretty consolidated now, and again, just like what happened in banking, what happened in pension, those steps have been taken to ensure more strength, in those industries so that, people would not have paid premiums, and when it's now time for them, you know, to get their whatever, then they don't get. Are you still hearing any of those stories? I am not.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll take the last question. Madam Buki, I can see your hands up. The very last question. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, my chairman. I would not just call this one a thank you, you know, beautiful for the beautiful job you did.
Thank you.
And to just also add a bit to it, you mentioned one area of people wanting to continue to make a living, you know. Some actually retire pretty earlier than others. And of course, they are still very agile to work. And some of them get huge sums of money and they don't know, and they just waste it because they are trying their hands on new businesses.
Yes.
Please, this is not the time to put your hand in new businesses. You need to have started planning those things and getting used to them. You know, you make your mistakes while you're still in employment. If you lose, you still have more money to lose. But when you lose money after retirement, then you're in trouble. One. Number two, you have to go into businesses that you're also comfortable with. You're not in competition with anybody. The fact that you have, because everybody here, I believe, are accountants, the fact that you have that ICANN certificate is not a guarantee, or does it make it compulsory that you go and set up an accounting firm if you have not been in it for a very long time? You understand? Some of us can't do banking. We've never been into the banking world. So you can't ask me to come and set up a bank or do something in that field. I have to go and learn it all over again. So if you have not been an accountant in the sense of it, other than the certificate that you have, please, even if you have the ICANN practice license, like that, they almost used to dash us in those days. When you spend 30 months in a practice firm, you can apply and they will give you a certificate. But if you don't have any business being there, please don't stress yourself. You will waste your money, you will stress, you will be stressed up, and I pray we don't just drop there. So look at the areas where you have strength, and let's see how you can build more strength in those areas. That's all I want to add to it. But thank you very much. You went everywhere. You touched everything that has to do with retirement. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I had chatted Oga Kola to give a vote of thanks. I don't know, no response. Is he there? Mr. Kola Olaito. Okay, so I would want to take Madam Buki's closing notes as the vote of thanks. Madam, we're very grateful for your coming up, and especially within this period that we're celebrating women. We are happy to have you talk to us in a motherly role, and I think Dr. Adebola has also asked at least his experience in that field and has given us his own side of it. You can hear the young ones in the banking industry still asking questions. What do we do? So from your response, you say the time is now. No, don't wait for tomorrow. The little things you can start, which is your business registration, start that now. Exercise has been highlighted. Nutrition has been highlighted. Investment portfolio has been highlighted. We thank you for everything the insight that you have given us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So
it was my delight.
When we call you next time, please, ma'am, do not hesitate. I know you will come and talk to us. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and God bless you.
You're not supposed to be in our district.
Thank you.
My sister, you're not supposed to be in this district. Where have you been?
I'm not the accountant in my partnership.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
My chairman, thank you for the honor. I do apologize. I'm actually on the road. It took me a while.
Okay.
Yes, so please bear with me. And I think Mrs. Akimaladu has I appreciated the madam. I came in towards the end of it all, but I enjoyed every bit of the presentation. Madam, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And you've done a very wonderful job. So thanks a lot. God bless you. My chair,
God bless you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Thank
All
you,
right.
madam.
Thank you.
God bless you for
Thank you. All right. Okay. So, Secretary, the agenda, if you can.
Mr. Dario, can we go? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the agenda is popping back up. Let's remember the little ground rules that we have. If you're not speaking, kindly mute your phone, mute your speakers. Okay, thank you. So getting back to the agenda, we've taken item 1, 2, and 3. Now we're moving into item 4, which is reading and adoption of the minutes of members' general meeting. So, General Secretary, I'll hand this back over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, and good evening, colleagues. That was a good one we all have. I think we should now come back home, back to the meeting venue. Those who are still thinking of retirement, please come back to the meeting venue. You are all welcome back. Before we take the minute, just an information. You know, you didn't pre-register for this meeting. We decided to remove pre-registration. So please put your name and your membership number on the chat box, on the chat section, so that we can capture all that in the next minute. And those who are using unnamed facility, like I saw iPhone 3, iPhone 7, tab this, please, you need to change it. From next meeting, we will not admit anybody without a name into the meeting. Thank you very much. This is the minutes of the last meeting held on February 11, 2021 via Zoom. It has been sent out before, and I'm sure we have read it. So we'll go through page by page. Anyone that has any objections to any of the items there could just raise it. Thank you very much. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. And that's the last. Well, we have gone through it. If there is no objections, no amendment, no corrections, may I crave the indulgence of any active member that was present in the meeting, happy member, to move a motion for the adoption of the minutes. Who is adopting?
Can I move, Alessa?
Anybody?
John Isesele, can I move?
If you're a happy person, move. Go ahead.
In the absence of any amendments, corrections to this minutes, I, John Isesele, wish to move a motion for the adoption of this minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Who is seconding?
I, Agbola Olawale, second the motion for the adoption of the last meeting.
Membership number what, sir?
045312.
045312, okay. Thank you very much. Those in support say aye.
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 Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Madam Chairman, the minute has been read, approved, and it has been accepted for discussion. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman.
All right, thank you so much. Since you're a politician, the matters arising, please. Can you call up the matters arising from the minutes?
Go ahead, Secretary, go ahead. Yes, the first one is update on the accounting conference.
Okay, so it's actually an item in the agenda.
Yes,
so
the
we'll take
matter
it.
Should be the accounting conference, please.
Thank you. So basically, there are items identified as in the agenda. So we'll take them within their periods. Shall we already?
Yes, I am.
Okay, before Shehu steps in, let me just do a brief on Shehu's work, Madam Shehu's work. Madam Shehu Iliola is our Social and Publicity Secretary. I would like to just give a pop-up for her, just a thumbs up. She's been doing a great job. We can see her everywhere, all our activities, and I keep asking, do you have an extra strength or something else is working in you? All the ICANN LDS projects or programs, Madam Shehu is there. I think we need to really appreciate her at this time. Can we just give her a round of applause, please? Please, can we clap for her? At least if we are not there and someone is working, let's just appreciate her.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, madam.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Trust we're all keeping safe. Yeah, the Golden Jubilee is here and the countdown has started. We're just 18 days away from the event. We have a good number of people who have shown interest to attend virtually and a fraction of that people physically. I would like to say that the physical attendance means a lot to the district, and a number of us, despite all odds, will still be patriotic to represent our noble district, which is the premier district at the forthcoming district parade. We look forward to making you proud and also win a prize for either the costume or the presentation. The window is still open should you plan to attend physically. You're free to contact me or the secretariat, or just use the link that we have always been sharing on the platform to join the AAC WhatsApp group. So I'll just to show you a bit of our preparation. Okay, you can see me. We have the hand beads. We are ready. We have the what's it called? The earrings for the ladies. We have the neck beads that we'll be using for the parade. Our showcase here, it's gold because it's a golden jubilee. Okay, and then we have our fabric. Yes, it's Article. So all the ashwebis have gone to the tailor. They should be ready for pickup sometimes next week. Our presentations are ready. We already have a lovely, danceable and matchable song, and also her dance drama. We should schedule a physical rehearsal sometimes next weekend for the intended attendees. So you're also free to sponsor 1 or 2 people, as some people have already reached out to us for support. Thank you. So I'll be available to, take your comments or remarks. Over to you.
Okay, do we have any reactions to her presentation? Questions, clarifications from the House? The Annual Accountants Conference, the Golden Jubilee event. Do you have any reactions, any clarification? Just like she mentioned, a dedicated WhatsApp group has been created for this purpose, and the group has been interacting. It's going to be a nice one. We always have made the district proud. This won't be a different one. So please identify with the group and let's make it happen. I wish you had shared the costume. Well, okay, that's a sellout if we share it on this platform, because anybody can copy it. But it's going to be interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Shehu. Do you have any reactions? Okay, none. So in the absence of that, we'll move on to the next item. Thank you, Madam Shehu. Secretariat, please.
Thank you very much. The next item is update on the ICANN LDS building project.
Okay. So before we get there, I know we made a little bit of amendment on the agenda. Introduction of the ICANN Bonny Kingdom District, our new baby. So sometime last year, our district sponsored ICANN Bonny Kingdom Districts in Bonny River State. It's gone through the council and approved. They are about to be inaugurated. The inauguration would have happened 27th of this month, but a reschedule was done on the date. So their new inauguration date is scheduled for sometime next month, April, yet to be confirmed. But we thought it wise to introduce our new baby to the house because it's the district that owns the baby. And we have them in the house now, the ICANN Bonny Kingdom District. Are you in the house, ICANN Bonny Kingdom District?
Yes, madam, we are in the house, so I'm connected.
Okay, that's Reverend Rufus.
Yes, we are. Good evening. But we'll have a fuller house at 7:30 as was advised.
7:30, as was advised. Okay, I'll step it down and wait for 7:30. Because we need to see your faces real good. For 7:30. So in the interim, we'll take another activity which is not on the agenda. Maybe it should come under AOB, but because it's our member, it wouldn't be treated as just any other business. It will be treated as a major item. We know that on Monday, March 8th, 2021, a root shock occurred in our district. The information was picked up first on Facebook by our past chairman, and the secretariat now delved into investigation to the family to confirm the post. And sadly, a young, energetic member of ours who is every time he attends all events, trained in Lagos, very energetic on accounting platforms, he passed away. And that member is no other person than Mr. Adetunji Fayad Oyelade, ACA. According to the Muslim rites, he has been buried. The necessary documentation to the institute has been done. The good news, he's financially up to date. So his due rights will be given to his family. We have written to the institute in that regard. And that is what we keep preaching to everyone. You never can tell when it will happen. Just your subscription will suffice as a retirement plan. It's your family benefiting, but it's a total loss to this district. This is the second fellow this year. We need to be quite mindful. We need to take every step seriously. Is quite sad. And in that regard, our IPC, Mrs. Okay? Mrs. Okay? Is she there?
Hello, my chair. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Okay. Good evening, ma'am. Okay, so we want you to help us with the same 1 minute silence for us to observe it for our member, Mr. Adetunji Fayad Oyelade, ACA.
Okay. So every one of us, please, let's observe the 1 minute silence for our departed colleague. The 1 minute starts now, please. May the soul of our brother, may the soul of our departed brother and colleague rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
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 Thank you so
Over
much.
to you, Chairman.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So we're back on stage. We will have to take the next agenda. I know that one will take a while. ICANN Bonny Kingdom, if we can just, let's take you on now. So that, because the next item, before we round it off, we might keep you on for a long time. So ICANN Bonny Kingdom District, I'll put back a smile. The teary eye was for our member, but here I'm going to put back a smile. Dr. Samuel Ekong, can we spotlight him, please? All right. So welcome on board.
Yeah.
ICANN Bonny Kingdom District is our baby district. Good evening. So he has his team here, the executives, and having done the introduction, I would like you to introduce your member of the house, please.
Okay. Good evening, our mother. That is how we call you because you birthed us. And it's a privilege
Can we see your faces, please?
Okay. So, colleagues, would you kindly turn on your videos? Okay, Reverend is here. Reverend Rufus, can you please? Let me see who else is here. Are you here? Matthew?
Shade is here.
Okay, Madam Shade, please. Matthew, you here? Victor, are you here? Chuka, Dr. Williams, Mr. Halliday, are we all here? Please turn on your videos.
I am here. I am here already.
Okay, okay, sir. Are you here? Probably not. Okay, so so do I continue or I should?
Yeah, go on, my chairman.
Okay, thank you very much, Lester.
Go on, my.
So I mean, it's, as I said earlier, it's a big privilege for us to meet our mother, since you birthed us. Sometimes back, we were introduced to our father, which will be Port Harcourt district. So I mean, I was taken aback then. I said, how can we meet our father before meeting our mother? I think the ideal thing is usually you meet your mother, then your mother will introduce you to the father. But that's okay. I think it was for convenience. So it's a huge responsibility given to us. We do acknowledge that, and with your support and continued mentoring, we will challenge ourselves and take up these responsibilities and ensure that we do not let you down. As Sasha said, we've gone through all the approval processes, and we are planning inauguration and investiture at this time. We were supposed to do it in March, but a big event is happening on the same day we had planned. So we are looking at another date in April. Currently, we are looking at about 27th, 28th. But once we firm that up, we will let you know. It will be nice to have as many as we can have from our mother district. It will really be nice. You know what it is when a child is performing and the mother is right there behind. I'm sure you know what it is. So we will expect to have as many of you with us. So that date we are trying to firm up that date. Once we do, we will let you know. But once again, we want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Constance, the chairman of Lagos and districts. Thank you, Mr. Lester. Thank you, everyone that we have come in contact with. And till tomorrow, you guys still support us during our meetings, in our ESCO meetings, in our inauguration meetings, in our general meetings. You're there to hold our hands. And with this, I mean, we cannot but, make you proud. With me here, when we had the election, yours truly was elected the chairman. Thank you very much for the honor. We have as my vice, Matthew Waribo, FCA. Matthew, are you in? Okay, I just saw a message from Matthew that he said it will be late. Probably is held up maybe in school or one thing or the other. I just got a message from him now. And then I have General Secretary Ayodeji Omitogun, ACA. Are you here? Oh my God, okay. Then we have the Assistant General Secretary, Mrs. Shade Kilani, FCA. Madam, you can just wave. I know you're here. All right, thank you.
Good
and
evening.
Then we have Technical Secretary, Mr. Victor Jumbo, FCA. I spoke with him a while ago. He said he was going to join. Victor, are you here? Please just wait.
I'm here. Good evening, everybody.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, man.
Good evening.
God bless you all.
Thank you. All right. So we have our treasurer, Mrs. Sophia Horsfall. She sent her apologies that she won't be able to make it due to another engagement. And then we have a Social and Publicity Secretary, Mr. Chuka. He too sent apologies. He's quite busy in the plant at this time. They're doing a turnaround of the plant, so his hands are really full there. He's an engineer who has turned an accountant, so it's really a privilege to have him. And we have a Financial Secretary, Dr. William Chime, ACA. Dr. William, we spoke a while ago. Are you here now? Okay, maybe not. And then we have our elders, our advisors, the ex-officio. We have Reverend Rufus Green, FCA. Reverend, you're here. You've been here since, I think, 6:30.
Yes, I am here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome,
And then we,
Reverend.
Yeah, we have the second ex-official, Mr. Hugh Halliday, FCA. I spoke with him a while ago. I hope he's here. Mr. Halliday, are you here? Okay, maybe he hasn't joined yet. Right, so these are the ESCO that will carry this vision that you guys have birthed in Bonny Island. It is really a privilege to be part of this new district. Once again, it's a huge responsibility. So I would still, request your support, your guidance, your mentoring, all through. And I don't know whether it is a good time for me to say that we also expect all the body of our mothers to please give goodwill messages, at least goodwill messages to support the inauguration and the district itself. And then we have provisions for congratulatory messages. We have adverts in the program brochure. So please, all of us that have friends, have companies, have friends, please, we invite you to showcase your business in a brochure. It is new. I think it will go far. So we want we're asking for your support in this area. Without taking so much time, once again, thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so any reaction from a member? Just anybody? Any reaction to the new districts? I would prefer a past chairman. Oga Kola, I know I've called you before. Any reaction, Mrs. Ajayi, the past chairman? Okay. Is Mrs. Ajayi here? Oga Kola, Olaito.
No, I just got
a
back.
word to the new baby.
Sorry?
Yeah, okay.
I just got back now. I was offline for a while. Sorry, I didn't get what you said.
Okay, this is ICAM Kingdom District. We just introduced them to the house. They've related with the mother district.
Okay.
Okay. So just wishing them well as an elder. That's basically the reaction.
Okay. You're very much welcome on board. I wish you well. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll get to talk a lot more. Sorry, I'm in an environment where I can't speak much. I'm in the club. So sorry, please, you just bear with me. I'll talk a lot more some other time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Best wishes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hope we'll get some.
Yeah, my chairman. Sorry. Hello, chairman.
Yes, go ahead, madam. Thank you, sir. Go ahead,
sorry, I'm just logging in. They are welcome. Wish them well. And together we'll all move ICANN forward in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, thank you. Thank you, ICANN. Thank you. So you've been introduced to your mother and your father. You're no more childless.
Don't worry, I've never been an orphan.
Thank you so much. We'd like to see as many of you as possible, please. So that when we are dancing on the stage, we will look back, we see our mother, we'll look back.
You just see that we stand behind you, Gidigba, like what do they call it? Timber and Caliber.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Eko and team. Thank you, Madam Shadi. Thank you, Reverend Rufus. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so Secretariat, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, my friend Rufus and Samuel and everybody. Have a lovely evening while we continue with our meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We log out now.
Yes. Please, our next secretariat, next item on the agenda. Okay, the update on the ICANN LDS building project. I think I should invite, is it the chairman building committee to, Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So before the chairman will just come up, but we have one step before they come up. Okay, so the being birthed from the investiture project program in November, where we had the ICANN LDS complex building launch. A building committee has been acting in an acting capacity, setting up all of our processes, but it has not been approved or gone through the processes. So over the period from the February meeting or January meeting thereabout, we had to step back and the team has been working. And at the executive platform, a team of 16 has been identified, being looked into by the executive. I don't think, do we have that team list, or when the chairman will be speaking, the team list will be popped up. So the executive committee has now looked at the formation of this particular subcommittee. Because of the nature of their function, they cannot just be a committee that will function within an administration and phase out. The executive now have sought that this committee should be a standing committee that will work within a tenure of 3 years with an option for a 2-year renewal. That's about 5. Option for renewal if they don't complete their service in 3 years. And any other clause will now follow. So our chairman has been identified within this group, and the chairman is no other person than Christopher Ehioge, a one-time JEGA. And the secretary has been identified as Labisi. I know the real names will come up. I'm just calling out at the top of my head. So the committee, can we pop up their list, please? Can we pop up the team list? Okay, I can read it out. So the members of the building subcommittee, we have Mr. Christopher Ehioge, FCA. We have the secretary, why would the secretary not put his name?
That's Olabisi Ogundipe.
Yes, I know. I'm looking at the list and he didn't put his name in the list. Okay. Mr. Ogundipe Olabisi, FCA, as the secretary. Then other members are Mrs. Constance Nwoke-Jobi, ACA, Mr. John Isesele, FCA, Dr. Martin Sipeha, FCA, Mrs. Fumi Amafa Etupo, FCA, Dr. Lumide Adedeji, FCA, Mr. Alexa Wilcox, FCA, Mr. Fatai Adesina, FCA, Mrs. Sheun Ilola, FCA, HC Oduro Oladuni, FCA, also known as High Chief. We have Mr. Akinshola Akimbumi, FCA. We have Toyi Ogunlowo, FCA, our Financial Secretary. Mr. Joshua Ansah, a past chairman, FCA. Mrs. Omolola, okay, FCA, our IPC. And Mr. Joshua Ansah, no, the treasurer, and then Mr. Joshua Ohioma, the past chairman, as members of this building subcommittee. So my role this day is to bring it to the House. The executive has looked into this matter, set it up as a standing committee, but we will need reactions from the House to ratify the how the subcommittee operating as a standing committee within the tenure of 3 years and a 2-year renewable plan. Please, this is open to the members to look into this and consider. It is for your consideration and ratification. Reactions, please. Do we have a motion to go ahead with this? Adoption of the recommendation. Do we have, please? This is basically to enable the committee working dutifully to execute this project, which is not just a one-year project, and make sure that it works through. Do we have anyone adopting it from the members from the floor?
Anybody can move the motion, please.
Chairman, I've been raising my hand, Chairman. I've been raising my hand.
Chairman.
Okay, Dr. Debola Olubanjo is raising his hand, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Please go ahead, Doctor.
I say thank you to the executive for setting up a powerful team like this. The project itself is a landmark and it's a legacy we want to leave behind. And so for us to make it to work, we need people who will be looking and thinking about it from day to day, developing strategies that will make it to be a reality. So I move that this committee be adopted and allowed to continue. Thank you. Adebola Olubanjo.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay.
Madam Chairman.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to support the motion. I'm Dola Kwali, membership 8796, FCA.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So on that note, it has now been confirmed that Mr. Christopher Ehioge is the chairman of this subcommittee, and Adebola Labisi Olasisi, whatever his name is, Ogundipe Olabisi is the secretary for the subcommittee. No more in acting capacity. Thank you so much, House. So I'll just go back. I'll now introduce the chairman of the subcommittee to take us on with his communique and his reports. Mr. Christopher, over to you, please.
All right, my chairman. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, good evening, my chairman and professional colleagues. We appreciate the moment that you just gave us and just also gave us, and I will pray that the Holy Spirit will direct our path. So, and having said that, we will go ahead now and then release the communique we issued yesterday, March 17, 2021. And please, can you put the communique on? Hello, Secretariat. Is the communique on?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Okay. While you are doing that, the communique issued yesterday, March 17, 2021, and like you've heard from the district chairman, we are now 16 members in that committee, and we hope to leverage on the strength of that committee, and everyone will make a strong contribution for us to achieve our objectives. So we'll have strong men that we will be able to assign various tasks, and then various groups to us come out from there. Yes. Thank you so much for that. You may read. So don't hold on. In less than 30 minutes, you need to draft a letter for you to type the general meeting held on January 21, 2021.
So I'm going to copy what you said and now put it inside the letter. So no need
Present.
to give you like 30 minutes to do that.
Was referred.
Dr. Martin.
Oh dear.
So the members present, the members present at that meeting deliberated so much on that report and then they referred it to the building committee for further review. The building committee have spent some time in the deliberations, and we have come up with this communique as a response to the assignment that was given to us on that day. We have looked at the land, which is key to what we are doing, and then the facility will be sited within Oliru and the Legushi area. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
No, let us scroll.
Go ahead and be fast about it, Chairman.
Okay, so the facility will be sited within Oliru and the Legushi area of the Estiosa local government area. It requires 2 plots of land to fit the proposed facility. The market value for a plot in this location is between 6 million and 130 million, depending on the owner and the location. Then for the building, the institute has the model, and its bill of quantity is 50 million. So the institute's matching fund is 25 million on the building, while the district will provide 25 million. The institute does not fund land acquisition. The institute has a building committee that will handle the building project. Then the project phases. The project will be in 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 has part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is the acquisition of 2 plots of land for 120 million. And part 2 of phase 1 is secretariat building with matching funds of 50 million. After the phase 1, we now move into the phase 2. The phase 2 is the accommodation facility, which will serve as a complementary project. Then for the funding, members' development contribution, corporate and individual sponsors, crowdfunding, and institute matching funds are the areas that we are looking at. Then the decisions and recommendations that we made, 1, the project should be carried out in phases and in parts. 2, phase 1 total fund is 170 million, divided into 145 million district for 25 million funds from the institute. 3, the phase 2 details will be considered after phase 1. Then 4, the following are the fundraising options the committee is carefully considering, and they also require further review. A, 20,000 special development contribution by all members. Then B, special assistance through donations from members. Then C, corporate donations. And then, of course, investment model that will allow members have stake in the project. So this is the communique that we issued yesterday, March 17, 2021. And it's our response to the assignment that was given to us in January. So the floor will now be open for contribution. Thank you so much, member.
Thank you.
The floor is open for contribution, please.
So let's check. Please, if you have any reaction, show of hand, or you speak. You can go ahead and speak.
Are you sure they are on mute? They may want to speak.
Secretary, please, okay, unmute yourself and speak.
They can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Chairman, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dr.
Chairman, Madam Chairman, I raised my hand.
Go ahead, sir.
Once again, I will say thank you to you and your team. People may be wondering why I say so. I became a member of the Institute when there was no office. ICANN had no office. ICANN was renting a property that it was using as office. But if you see ICANN now, you see the property here, you see property everywhere in Ebute Metta, you see in Abuja. People came up with this idea, and that is what you people are doing. And we must all wake up to support it. Because if ICANN had not done that, if they continue to be renting property, when I became a member, ICANN would be nowhere today. There'll be no legacy to leave for the people that are coming behind. And I remember that when we were to start that thing, we were given a special levy, which we paid. So this 20,000 levy that you put in there, we should consider it and we should support it. In fact, if we follow it properly, it will generate the money that you will need, plus the matching grant from the Institute. We should just try and encourage our members and present more services to our members. Those who do not have job, we will try to help them in our organization or any organization that we know that is work for them. We do more than just coming together and having meetings. We do more service to our people. And all of us get committed to doing this work that you have brought to us now. And the project the model you have used, the fourth one, that is the one for investment, I don't think we will need that. I think the first three will be okay to do this work, provided we'll continue to be our border skipper, and we continue to encourage our people and try as much as possible to recruit more people. There are more accountants in our district. Our district is more than what we have now. If we continue to encourage them, I go out to go and bring somebody, you go out and look for the person who is working in your organization or the next organization next to you. Let's go on a recruitment effort to bring in more people here, and then they pay 20,000. Anybody that's joining us will pay 20,000. My chairman, this thing will be done and it will be easy. I say congratulations to you and your team. You are doing something that was done so many years ago when we were joining the Institute and it had no office of its own. It was one small building, one small story building that was hired at that time. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
I'm done, man.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, thank you for the contribution. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
go ahead.
Sir. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, yes. The floor is still open for more contributions and comments. Sorry, my network went off at the time. The network is around. So more contribution. We have over 68 people on board. Let's hear comments. And then by way of comments too, we are also open to anyone who may want to contribution, advisory, and suggestion on the way forward. You can always reach out to us. You cannot reach us personally. You can reach out to the secretariat. The secretariat will pass them to us. So please, we need more comments, please.
Mr. Chairman, my name is my name is Frank Obo.
Go ahead.
13323.
Okay.
I want to suggest we should put it into vote with the number of people that we have on ground. I support the 20,000 and it's a laudable project and it is for our pride. We thank you for the job well done.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you
for that. I think we should actually put it to vote, especially that 20,000 special levy contribution by all members. General Secretary, can you that the votes? Let's count
I can see Adeni Odeale. His hand is up.
Okay. Okay. Speak, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Adeni Odeale, membership number 042729. I want to thank and appreciate the executive and all the members of building subcommittee for this wonderful initiative. But however, I have two observations that I believe can also assist in achieving this laudable project. Number one is most of the big corporations in Lagos have their head offices on within this that are under our district. I will suggest that the executive look at the should consider writing to all the managing directors or key decision makers that have some of our members in their board, like in the last most especially MD of and executive director of banks, oil and gas, and multinationals. For banks, I'm aware about 5 or 6 current managing directors are FCAs. First Bank, Access Bank, and about 3 or 4 others. We should write personal letters to them to support this project. In fact, don't even be surprised. 1 or 2 of them might even decide to donate the land for us. They will be a gold or platinum sponsor of this project. So I think we should look in that direction during your next meeting. And on the membership special contribution, I think we should also look at increasing the contribution to 25-20, maybe 25 for FCAs and 20 to ACAs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Those points are well noted, and we'll take them back and also incorporate it in our working notes and consider it. But for that increase in fees, actually, that was actually debated in January. Some members were supporting 50,000. And for the reason the House ready to committee, and we have actually looked at that, and then make a stop point at that 20. Although the committee and the entire members will realize the major funds from the other 3 sources to be able to do that. So, but we will still take note of that and consider it. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, just an addition. Can I go on? Hello? Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Lester, he's muted.
Yes, the 20 is minimum contribution. So you can contribute as much as you can. There are other things being worked out, like somebody talked about diamond sponsor, platinum sponsor. All those things are coming up. But this one is minimum members compulsory contribution for the project. The money will be paid directly to the project account, not even to the ESCO account. So that is for the 20,000. It's minimum. If you want to give us 100, want to make 50, want to make 1 million, please, it's allowed. That 20 is just the minimum for every member. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hello, good evening, my chairman.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Yes, I just want to make a contribution to what we've been discussing. And I think that I support that 20,000 naira to be minimum. Because if you have anybody that have more than that, it is allowed. So 10,000 minimum would be okay, compulsory for all members. So anybody that have more than that, we can as well contribute. So I just want to add that too. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Hello.
Okay, so your time.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead, Mr. Chairman. Yes, go ahead.
The network took me off. Sorry for that. But I think I had the last speaker. He said he supports that the 20,000. Then, like you rightly said, that 20,000 is a compulsory contribution. But there are other packages, other donations that members could come in. And that would be the honor list. So if you do more than that and you feature in other categories that we will bring on, so that will make the honor list. So this 20,000 is a commitment from every member. That's why we made it 20,000 as a fixed fee for every member. But for those that may want their name to be on the honor list, then they will not come in from the other level in in the donations. Thank you so much for that. Do we still have someone else?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Joseph.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and all members. The suggestion that item D, investment model, should be looked into and possibly dropped, I think is something that we need to really consider, because what we intend to achieve with that may also be a hindrance towards people making special donation and special assistance towards this project. Then also the issue of the suggestion that we should have 20,000 and 25,000 for associates and fellows. Maybe it's something that we should also look into in your next deliberation, so that we can be doubly sure that we have actually looked at this critically before we take a final stand that 20,000 is sacrosanct and it's not something that we can look at or debatable. I think these are just my own contribution, because what we are trying to achieve here, also at the national level, I think we have membership contribution, both for associates and for fellows. And I don't think there's anything also wrong in having such in a development project of this nature at the district level.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello?
I'm true.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. For that 2 levels, sorry, something is echoing here. Let me take it off.
Sorry, because I logged in with another model. Okay. Sorry for that. So for that 2 levels, the SCA and the ACA, I think at the institute level, because we also look at that, at the institute level, the only differentiated between ACA and SCA in terms of subscription. But the last time we did the building, when there was also a levy for a building project, I don't know. Can someone remind us here if there were differences between ACA and SCA in terms of that contribution? Because I know it's some years back. It's a long time now. So that was what we was also looking at, that we may not need to differentiate between ACA and SCA. But like you have rightly said, we also take note of that and then look at it. There's no harm in trial if SCA can go for ACA. But we can take the decision here now. District Chairman, do you have a contribution on that in terms of SCA and ACA? Hello, Costa. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
I said, yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Do you have anything to say on that in terms of SCA 20,000 and SCA 20,000, so that the House can just ratify it now?
Well, okay, my thoughts is a very welcome development. At least we're trying to allow the senior to take more votes than the junior. But in all sincerity, there are several other options available. Keeping it flat will just help us, because you never can tell. This is COVID has set in. A lot of people might be out of job. They might not be able to partake in the other ones, so that we don't constrain ourselves. If we can please leave it at that 20 flat at the moment, and if you are magnanimous enough, you can join the other league and help contribute. At least we have the honor roll, we have other special packages. Let's keep it simple a bit, because we never can tell where anyone will fall in. They say that there's a saying in my place that you are the first son does not mean you'll be the one to bury your father. Anybody can. So let's keep it flat, because it's a mandatory levy at the moment. But we'll be so happy if on your own willingly, you now come up with the special donations. So keeping it flat is my own suggestion.
Okay, so that's the line that we will talk. I think it's better we keep it flat, so that they will also be able to monitor that. And because ACA comes in every year, FCA comes in every year too. So please just bear with us. Let us keep it flat. And then at other packages that will be the honor list, we just encourage us to participate in that. Thank you so much for that. So should we now take it as a, so do we still need the general votes, or has someone moved the motion to adopt it? Someone move the motion to adopt that 20,000, please.
I think, Mr. Chairman, I think there's no point for additional votes. The motion has been carried. There's no dissenting voice among the discussants. So I think the motion should have been carried.
Okay, that's fine. That's
based on the motion moved by Dr. Debola and supported by the next person. I can't remember the next person who supported the motion.
And let's get the name so that the minutes can capture them.
No, we're writing the minutes. That will be captured.
You capture it, okay.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. So thank you so much. I will hand over the meeting now to the district chairman. My chairman. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do appreciate your style of chairmanship, especially your Jega moves. You want to make sure that your electorates are being carried along. So I do appreciate your work, sir. Thank you so much for a job well done.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Okay. So the secretariat is our agenda. Thank you. So we take it that members will comply and the contribution will start now. Any other business? Do we have any item here, please? From the Secretariat, do we have any? We've not done something. There's an item that we missed out, the Western District Conference. General Secretary, but we are actually, our time is fast spent. Western District, from the agenda, please, can you pop it out? I know I saw that on the agenda. Okay, we're supposed to end by 8, but please, 8:30, we should be out of here. Report from Western Zonal Conferences. So let's just keep it simple. Recognition of birthday the next time we try and close before 8:30.
Yeah, Mr.
So General
Chairman.
Secretary, please.
Yeah, Madam Chairman, thank you very much. Well, I think attending on the, I'll give a report on the platform that we attended the meeting, the DC Society meeting of the that was held within the conference. We had the DC Society meeting, and a lot of decisions were reached at that meeting, which is normal in every when there's any district conference. One of the major decisions that was reached was the introduction of the new bylaw that has been in the works for 4 years now. So the institute have a new bylaw for the district, for district societies. It has been considered at the ESCO level, and I think with you informing you now, we will post it on the platform so that every member of the district will have a copy of the new district bylaw. Secondly, the issue of members' annual dues was also taken up seriously. The institute is so particular about that because of experiences that they have been having with respect to claims for unfortunate disease members. That has always featured in every district society meeting now, because questions keep coming up, and we are asked to cascade down this to you to drive home the importance of paying both your annual dues to the institute and your district levy. Nothing happens now. Now, being a member of a district is compulsory and sacrosanct for the institute. You can't get anything done in the institute without being a member of a district society. As a matter of fact, I've been functioning more like an executive secretary. Correspondence every day, mails every day, letters every day to deal with. We get 4, 5, 6 letters with respect to members. A lot of people come in because you are asked to go and register to a DC before they can get certain things at the secretariat. So the institute is very serious about these societies to strengthen them and to ensure that every member needs are taken care of. There are more things to be rolled out. Discount card for purchases. I think they are trying to wrap up with ShopRite and with all these big shops, big supermarkets where you can have discounts for being a member of ICANN and for holding the card. So these are some of the things that is on. And then, so your subscription should be paid on or before April 30th to qualify for next year's insurance. So please ensure that you pay and you pay to the last couple. Another thing that was discussed is the HMO. The HMO program is on, and they understand that people are not taking advantage of it. So please, you can go to the website of the institute and take full advantage of the HMO program. That is one that was discussed. So please, any other information you need to know about what is happening, the secretariat is open and we can always inform you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Chairman.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I'm not.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, are you done with the Western District update?
Yes, I think if there's anything to be added, maybe Mr. Cecily can add.
Okay. So, John, our representative, do you have anything to add?
No, the Alexa has covered basically what we need to cover. The conference, except that the conference was a good one and it's been held. What we are looking forward to now is the annual accountants conference that we mobilize for the Western Zona conference, less our members that couldn't make it participate in the annual accountants conference. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, so quickly, we have just 9 minutes remaining. Any other business? Secretary, kindly confirm the electoral committee, are they good to be announced now? Kindly confirm, please.
We will post it on the platform because there were 1 or 2 confirmations that needs to be done. It will be posted on the platform as a memo.
As a memo, okay. Okay. But we have we are expect this particular administration is supposed to exit by March 31st. And from the bylaw, the electoral committee is supposed to be set up 2 months ahead of time. However, has met and nominated about 7 members. A few clarifications are supposed to be made from the 7 members, and then they will be good to be presented to the House to their activities. So apologies, that has not been fully done, as you're supposed to be a financial member, seek your consent as well. Those are basically the underlying issues. So please, we need to have the buy-in of the House. We'll post it to the House, the members list. And if we can have a resolution that if posted, we can comment on it so that the 2 months period that they are supposed to serve within, they will still have ample time to work. The next time we are supposed to meet here should be April, when we will have another general meeting. And April is immediately after annual conference. Who knows if our general meeting would hold, because we've always had a tradition that when there's annual conference, the upper week, we might not have a meeting. So I'm just seeking, what do we do? If we don't adopt a method to use, we might lose out on the 2 months, and we don't have any extension after May 31st. We need to take a vote, or we need to adopt a procedure? When we confirm these members and post to the House, can we have reactions on the platform electoral committee? What are your suggestions, please? Secretary, Mr. Lester, do you understand my position?
Yes. You are perfectly in order, Mr. Chairman. If there is no objection to that proposition you've just made, it will be taken as carried, and the list will be posted. Members' reaction will be obtained, and then it is confirmed that they are good to go, except there's any objections when the list is posted.
Okay. So any objection, please, members? If you're raising your hand and we cannot see you, kindly speak up. Okay, so we take the silence to mean that it is okay, to mean consent. So we'll post the name of these members that have been nominated by the executive. Once the clarification is being made and their consent sought, their names will be posted on the platform as the electoral committee so that they can work within the time frame given to them for their task. to be able to achieve their scope of work and lead us into an exit of on or before May 31st, which is the ICANN presidential year. We want to thank everyone for that consideration. So we move on to the next item on the agenda so that we have 5 minutes, Madam Sheung, to close this meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. So to all the March celebrants, we say happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday, Mr. Olawole Agbola, ACA. Happy birthday, Alaji Titulayo Akibayo, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Tibito FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Dikun Adeyemi, FCA. Happy birthday, Mrs. Olufumilayo Oduwaye, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Dewale Taiwo Kayode, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Nuruddin Isaka, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Elijah Oladumoye, FCA. Happy birthday, Mrs. Toyin Ugunlowo, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Helvis Honoral, FCA. Happy birthday, Ms. Tolani Olaleye, ACA. Happy birthday to today's celebrant, Mr. Emilios Oye Lohunu, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Fidelis Imebake, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Genga Oyewole, FCA. Happy birthday, Mrs. Ellen Ifoma Ode, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Kenneth Homokule, ACA. Happy birthday to another today's celebrant, Mr. Michael Ojo, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Olatunji Oyedele, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Oluche Yolubenga Shudainde, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Otioral Kenechuku, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Felix Akindele, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Razaki Subal, ACA. Happy birthday, Mr. Tolu Lope Ashalu, FCA. Happy birthday, Mrs. Taiwo Oshinloye, FCA. Happy birthday, Mr. Ekbe Kulam Ikechuku, ACA. And to the last but not the least, happy birthday, Mr. Shudainde Olubenga, ACA. We wish you all a prosperous and a fulfilling year ahead. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think, Madam, we can all do a happy birthday song for them now, right? This is virtual, but let's give it to them. So can we just do that in 2 minutes?
That's fine.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank
you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Go ahead,
Have a
Madam.
good one.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so you have one more slide, Madam Sheung.
Okay, so if you would like us to be part of your landmark celebration, kindly send the invite. You can reach out to the secretariat for the invite. Thank you. Okay, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you. So there's a note there, pay your subscription fee into this account. The accounts are detailed, First Bank and Zenith. Then the next slide, which will be popping up, pay your donations towards the ICANN LDS building project into the account detail below. That's the dedicated account with Zenith. Okay, the next slide. And then here we are. Everything that has a beginning has a closing. Can someone move for the adjournment of this meeting, please?
Aye.
Aye. Mumigbari Joko, membership number 19272. Move the adoption of the close of this.
Okay, thank you. Any seconder, please.
I second the motion.
Who support though? No name.
Frank Obot, 13323. I second the motion.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much. So before we go for the closing prayer, thank you so much. And see you at the annual accountants conference. And thank you for your time. Can someone lead us in closing prayer, please? Closing prayer. Bolaji Isiaka. Is Bolaji there? I'm going to check again. Okay, Temitope, or just someone that is led, lead us in closing prayer, please.
Either Islam or Christian, anyone.
Temitope, are you there?
Hello, this is Temitope Bereshade. Heavenly Father, we thank you for our time together today. We thank you, Lord Father, for giving us the privilege of gathering for this meeting. Thank you for taking advantage, leading us through all our deliberations and wise conclusions. And we commit all our plans into your hands in Jesus' name. Father, as we depart from this meeting, as we depart from this meeting, go with us, be with us, be with our families, be with our businesses, so that when we get together next month, we'll have nothing but praise for your holy name. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amen.
See you at the
Thank you,
annual
Chairman.
conference.
See you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you,
at the
everybody.
conference. Thank you, thank you.
Good night to you all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Secretary, don't shut down until the last person leaves, so we'll have to stay and lock the door.
Safe trip home.
Thank you. Safe trip home. Thank you. Good night, Dr. Adebola. Okay, he's still there.
Constance,
Mr.
you are
Jai,
doing
thank
wonderfully.
you.
You are doing wonderfully well. We
Thank you,
appreciate
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Lester, we have not talked to me for a long time. What's happening?
I'm so sorry, sir. It can be doing
I'm
sure that we are very
going
loyal.
to give you a fine.
No, we are very loyal, sir. Our loyalty
I'm going to bring cricket for you.
No, I and Kike, we are having a good time.
Yeah, okay. Good.
It's well, sir.
Thank you.
Just stay strong and stay fit, sir.
We are making her a partner now.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's fine.
That's wonderful. She has paid her dues.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great day, sir.
All right.
Madam
Thank
Chairman,
you.
take care of yourself and have a great day.
Chairman, please greet your husband and your children.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I will, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And greet Madam too. All right, Oga John, I see your notes. Thank you. See you at the annual conference. Okay, Bolaji, good night.
Good night, ma. Do enjoy your night.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, waiting to lock the gate. Kennedy Ima. Kennedy, pronounce this your name. Kennedy Imha. All right, good night. I have to go now. Good night.
Chairman, we thank you for all that you have been doing.
Yeah. Good night. Thank you.